Hey everyone, Geophysicist Stefan Burns here. There has just been a violent volcanic explosion in Japan. This is Sakurajima Volcano, Japan's most active volcano, located in the southwest part of the island nation, and this has sent ash everywhere. There's ash now raining down across the prefecture. Thankfully, this was not a bigger eruption, though the potential for that does exist with this volcano. It is a big volcano, so in many aspects, people got lucky, but this was a big explosion. And in general, right now, we're seeing a bit of an energy burst hitting the Western Pacific. That's where a lot of activity seems to be focused right now, though in general, the past few days have been quite energetically for the Earth, but this certainly bucking the trend. Another thing added into all this is the fact that we have a strong typhoon about to slam into Guam, and it's forecasted to be a violent typhoon when it hits Guam. So this could be the strongest cyclone to hit Guam in a long time. A violent typhoon, for reference, is a category 5 hurricane. So hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, basically all the same thing, just different labels. But that is expected to slam into Guam right around Monday. So looking like Monday, it'll pass over Monday night. And this is where it is right now. And we can look at the satellite imagery too. So here we see it's a big cyclone really rotating in. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m., it's expected to have wind speeds of 220 kilometers per hour sustained. Of course, there's going to be gusts even higher than that. Pressure is going to be very, very low. This is going to be a big deal for the island of Guam, where there's a lot of active military personnel. There's about 150,000 people living there. It's a wonderful place. I've been there. It's full of butterflies. Really incredible island. I hope they do all right. This energy burst is clearly focused in the Western Pacific because that's not the only thing that's been happening. We also have the strongest earthquake of the past 24 hours, this magnitude 5.4, there being situated off the eastern coast of Japan. So right now we have entered into low activity conditions for the globe seismically. We were in that strong seismic burst for a while. That's finally cooled off. We've had about 5 days now where activity's been very low, like low moderate. So this is not a huge earthquake. It's nothing to be worried about, but it is the strongest earthquake of the past 24 hours. And it is located right in this theater that we've been looking at. So there's a lot happening right now, and there's more to cover. Let's get right into it. Here, I'm going to show you a few different data feeds. We'll look at the Schumann resonances, global seismic activity. This is all on my website, earthevolution.com/energy-analytics. You can just click this live data button right there to be taken to this. We also have a web store with a few new products on it. So if you'd like to pick anything up, all organic, holistic wellness products and also merchandise, that's at earthevolution.com/store. So just letting you know. Now, going back here, we can see our Schumann resonances for the past 3 days as observed out of Tomsk, Russia. This is measuring the vertical electric field going from 0 to 40 hertz. So here we have 0 on our y-axis at the top, 40 hertz down below. 1 hertz is 1 cycle per second. So bum, 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 just like that. Now you have these wavelengths of light that show up in the magnetic field and in the electric field, depending on which angle you're measuring, called Schumann resonances. These are Earth's naturally resonant energy fields, and they overlap with our brain waves, our heart rhythms, our biofields. They're generated by the electrical activity of the atmosphere, space weather impacts, and more. Here we see them. Right now, the spectrogram, as we call it, is really gained down. So we don't see them that well, but we see mode 1 here at 7.8 hertz on average, mode 2 there 14, mode 3 at 20, mode 4 showing up there about 26 hertz or so. And then you have other higher modes as well, 33 hertz, 39, etc. What we're seeing here is an anomalous energy signal kind of pulsating in between 12 and 13 hertz. You see it's above mode 2 at 14 hertz. See that band right there? It's very faint. Again, they reduce the gain on this. They adjust the gain every now and then, depending on the season for this observatory. But we see this signal weaving between 12 and 13 hertz. Well, we are right now in the midst of a giant radio flare from Cygnus X3, a microquasar located in the constellation of Cygnus within our galaxy. It's one of the most powerful X-ray and gamma ray sources in our galaxy. So it's definitely one to pay attention to. And because it's located in the constellation of Cygnus, it's always beaming energy down on the northern hemisphere. So we see this being reflected somehow in the Schumann resonances, that 0 to 40 hertz range, whereas a giant radio flare will be picked up in the gigahertz frequency range. Key thing to note, though, is that water absorbs frequencies, these microwave, radio wave frequencies at gigahertz levels and beyond. So there could be some interaction we're seeing between this giant radio flare, Earth's atmosphere, water, and somehow that translating into Schumann resonances. But regardless, we see it show up here, and I'm highlighting this potential connection between the two because last time Cygnus X3 had a giant radio flare, we saw the Schumann resonances also display very odd anomalies, though there it was much more obvious and it was perfectly lined up with the 3 days of that giant radio flare. So we have some weird interstellar energy coming in at this moment in time. We see that our global seismic activity has cooled off. Here's the seismic burst that we were in. Magnitude 7.5 Tonga, 7.3 Vanuatu, 7.4 Indonesia, right there, really making it the bulk of it. Quite a few high magnitude 6s, lower magnitude 6s as well. We've really dropped off. So this is likely to turn around though quite soon because we do have a coronal hole sequence that's going to be rotating to view soon. Here we see our 211 angstrom view with our 193 filter on top. We see this fractured trans-equatorial coronal hole here. Positive polarity, meaning does not connect as nicely to Earth's magnetic field. We haven't seen an uptick in seismicity as a result of that. Some portions there are trans-equatorial, meaning that high-speed stream does hit Earth. We are in that right now, starting to fade out of it. It did not give us a geostorm. It just raised us up to active conditions, so a bit more volatility in Earth's magnetic field, but not a tremendous amount more. But we see that it's really fractured up since this last rotation 28 days ago, and I think that's one reason why it hasn't had much of an effect. Though in general, I'd say the next 24, 48 hours, maybe there's a slightly higher likelihood of some sort of earthquake occurring that's notable because that is there. We are in that high-speed stream, etc. But you can see rotating into view the big coronal holes that will follow. We saw them last rotation. They were very large, and that's exactly when we had that global seismic burst. So we could very well enter into another one in about 7 to 10 days because, again, we see this right here. Once we go about 7 to 10 days from this, then that's going to be like a month back. So it's that 28-day frequency. So we're really right now in the midst of a quiet period that's soon about to change, but we are seeing a ramp up in activity around Western Asia, specifically near Japan. And so that's one area to watch. And a big event that is coming up very quickly is the flyby of Comet C 2025 R3 PANSTARRS. We see it right there. This photo being taken from Japan. We see the cherry blossoms there in the background. This one from April 9th. So just a couple days ago now. And every single day brings PANSTARRS closer to its perihelion of the sun. It'll be cutting right in front of the sun and the earth on the 26th of April. Let's give that a look because this is a pretty significant flyby. We don't get these sort of flybys every single day with big comets. As you saw, PANSTARRS clearly there, a notable comet. So it's coming in from above the ecliptic plane. It's shooting down like this. Its perihelion, its closest approach is on the 19th of April. So we see that right here. So it will be above the ecliptic plane at that point. We see it's basically right outside the orbit of Mercury. And so it's not too close, but once you get to the orbit of Mercury, that's pretty close to the sun, about 0.5 astronomical units. Here we see Earth. Earth is moving forward. PANSTARRS is moving there to the south. If we go forward here, all of a sudden we see this alignment start to form. There's the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. And it's really that 25th, 26th zone where we get a very clean Sun, Comet, Earth alignment with PANSTARRS just slightly below the ecliptic plane. But if we go to the 25th, we see it's right on the ecliptic plane. And so that's looking like a very, very precise geometric alignment. coming just a few days after. We have a whole bunch of planetary geometry in the solar system. I mean, you can see it right here very clearly. Saturn, Mars, Mercury, there's PANSTARRS. But if you go back to the 20th, you'll see that it was Earth there instead. So we have Saturn, Mars, Mercury, Earth. You have Neptune. We have this alignment here with Earth, Venus, and Uranus. You have a Mercury, Sun, Jupiter alignment, as you can see right here. You have a Venus, Saturn, Neptune alignment, as you can see right here. This is all happening around 420. So as we go forward, we are going to be entering into a period of critical heliocentric planetary geometry. We will have this comet fly in for its perihelion. We will have very large coronal holes on the Earth-facing side of the sun. We could get some activity in terms of sunspots and solar flares around that time, because often big sunspots will form near the edge of a coronal hole, and the magnetic field coupling between them will cause them to flare and discharge. So in general, right now, things are overall energetically quiet today, the 11th of April, but as we go forward to the 20th and to the end of April, things are really going to start heating up. We also just have a ton of aspects between Mars and a lot of the outer planets geocentrically during that time frame. So we're really entering into a pretty critical period for the next 10 days. Wanted to give you that update. I'll keep you up to date on everything that's happening with the Earth, the Sun, the cosmos, and more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been your host, Stefan Burns. Please smash that thumbs up button to help the channel grow. Thank you all so much for your support of what I do, the channel, everything. Yesterday, I went out to hopefully capture the sonic boom from Artemis 2. I did not hear. There's some reports that people did hear, but it was very quiet. But I actually bumped into someone who watches the channel yesterday. So big shout out to them, the whole family. It was great meeting you guys. And I've run into other people who follow along with my work. So it's really awesome to experience that firsthand, to meet you guys in person. Maybe we'll do some sort of meetups in the future. I do plan on doing that at some point, but wanted to just extend my thanks to all of you. Wishing you all have a great weekend. I'll see you all in the next video.